Let's take a look at 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7, the Messiah and the Passover Lamb. 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7 from the ESV. Cleanse out the old leaven, that you may be a new lump, as you really are unleavened. For Christ, or Messiah, our Passover Lamb, has been sacrificed. As we look at the same verse from the King James Version of the Bible, purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Christ, or the Messiah, our Passover, is sacrificed for us. As we begin to do the analytics of comparison, we will begin to see a difference in the translations. Once again, let's go back to 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7 from the ESV. Cleanse out the old leaven, that you may be a new lump, as you really are unleavened. For Christ, or Messiah, our Passover Lamb, has been sacrificed for us. I want you to pay attention to the word lamb. It has been added to the text, and we know that it's added because it's not in the Greek text. When we look at this same passage from the KJV, it reads, Purge out therefore the old leaven, that you may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Christ, or the Messiah, our Passover, is sacrificed for us. As you see in the red, for us was added to the text. Minor, but not major. Now let's take a look at 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7 from the Greek text. And we're going to look at the NU text, which stands for Nestle Aland United Bible Society text of the Greek, in which our English Bibles are translated from. This is what it looks like in the Greek. Don't worry about being able to read it if you don't know how, that's fine. Just want to show you what it looks like. Now we take a look at 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7 from the Greek text called the Textus Receptus. Now the Textus Receptus is what the King James is translated from. This is what it looks like. Now let's take a look at 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7 from a literal translation. Now I'm not going to go through the tedious task of parsing. I'm just going to give you a literal translation of each word. Take a look at this. The literal translation in English only. You purge out the old leaven, that you may be a new lump, just as you are unleavened also for the Passover of us. The anointed one, or anointed one, Messiah, was sacrificed. Read this again. You purge out the old leaven, that you may be a new lump, just as you are unleavened also for the Passover of us. The anointed one, Christ the Messiah, was sacrificed. So what are we saying when we read the actual literal translation of the verse? The verse is actually saying in 1 Corinthians 5:7, we should purge out the old leaven and become a new lump. We should also be unleavened for the Passover. Paul is asking us to be unleavened for the Passover also. This verse, 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7, is not speaking of the Passover lamb. Now we need to take a closer look and ask the question, is Messiah the Passover lamb? And I'm going to save this for another lesson. But until next time, shalom, shalom.